What are the 10 worst foods to eat if you have high blood pressure? Stay tuned to find out. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, click that bell so you never miss a new recipe or a new health tip. My name is Dr. Blake Schusterman. I'm a board certified nephrologist, kidney doctor, and I'm also the cooking doc. All the information that we talk about today is just for your knowledge. This is not medical advice. Talk to your own doctor if you have questions about your specific case. Okay, today we're going to talk about 10 foods that you should avoid if you have high blood pressure. Yes, this is kind of clickbait. And yes, there are way more than 10 foods that you should be avoiding if you have high blood pressure and you want to eat in a way to help manage that blood pressure. But clickbait is what sells. 10 best lists are always fun. Let's do it. First, canned soup or broth. 1 can of soup, if it's not low sodium, or 1 can of chicken broth can give you more than half of your daily salt allowance. So if you have high blood pressure and you're eating canned soup, you need to be looking for the low sodium varieties. Now this may seem obvious to a lot of you, but it is not obvious to everyone. So look for low sodium versions of soup. Make your broth and stock at home if you can, or just get the low sodium version in a box and add a little salt if you need it. Don't be fooled by words like organic or healthy or even sometimes low sodium canned soup. Some of those things still are very high in sodium. Number 2, pickles. Pickles are very high sodium and they don't have a lot of nutritional value in them except for the fact that they are absolutely delicious. So if you need to eat pickles, just have 1 slice of that pickle and see if that will satisfy your salt pickle craving. Number 3, high sodium frozen foods. There are all these different options of frozen foods now, especially if you're looking for vegan options or quick options. You will see vegan, you will see organic, you will see vegetarian, but do not assume that those titles mean low sodium. In fact, they probably don't. Some frozen meals have between 1,000 and up to 3,000 milligrams of sodium in a day. If you're trying to keep your daily intake below 2,300 milligrams, then boy, one of those meals can blow it out of the water. So what do you need to do? You need to learn to read food labels and try to pick meals that have less than 500 milligrams sodium. Next, sugar sodas and sugar sweetened drinks. There is a link or an association between consuming sugar sweetened drinks and development of high blood pressure. Now, whether that's because of the obesity that comes along with it or the uncontrolled diabetes, sometimes it's hard to know. But there certainly seems to be a link between drinking sodas and fruit juices and sweet tea and the development of high blood pressure. Now, does one meal that's high sugar increase your blood pressure in the time right after that? I think the jury is still out. But if you've watched my show before, you know I am a big believer in limiting your added sugar intake. Now this is not the sugar that's in an apple or a peach. This is the sugar that's added to sweet tea and Coca-Cola and Mountain Dew and all of those energy drinks that you buy at the store. Plus, those added sugars in those drinks don't have any nutritional value. When you have a piece of fruit, that has things like nutrients and fiber in it, so it can offset the sugar that's in those foods. Next, foods with added sugar, such as cookies and candy and donuts. All those things also can increase your risk of obesity, and obesity is definitely a risk factor for high blood pressure. So try to cut out as many of those as you can. Okay, next, this is a tough one, processed meats. There is nothing that's easier or more simple or more ingrained in our society as taking a slice of bologna or ham, putting it on a sandwich, and having a quick lunch. It's easy, it's quick, it's something you've been doing all of your life. The problem is that those processed meats, whether or not it's the bologna or the ham or the bacon or the sausage, all come with a lot of extra sodium, and that sodium can raise your blood pressure. So try to limit your consumption of those processed meats. If you have to, go ahead and get the low sodium or no sodium version, or do some homemade cooking. Make some homemade chicken breasts and use them on your sandwiches instead of sliced chicken from the deli counter. Next, fried foods. Need I say more? High fat, high salt, bad for your blood pressure. Okay, we've got 3 more if I'm counting correctly, and some of these are really hard to get rid of in your diet. Pizza. Pizza is bad for your blood pressure, not because it is inherently bad for you, but because we often load it with things that are high salt, from the tomato sauce to the crust to the pepperoni to the sausage. All those things are high salt, so you have layer upon layer upon layer of things that can raise your blood pressure. So cut out your pizza or make it at home, or you can ask somebody to create a kidney healthy or low sodium pizza, whereby you use the crust, olive oil on top, fresh herbs, and fresh vegetables. Leave off the processed meat, leave off as much cheese as you can. And so yes, you can still have your pizza, and it may be a bougie pizza, but it will be better for your health, and you can still make it taste really good. Down to the final 2, hot dogs, and I have to mention that just because the United States eats a lot of hot dogs, and on any list of things to avoid, for whatever reason, hot dogs should be on there. Finally, and this is more of a general category rather than a specific food, but ultra-processed foods can contribute to both high blood pressure and obesity. Now, why is that? Ultra-processed foods are foods that have been processed over and over again and often lose much of their nutritional value. And instead of that nutritional value that comes with whole foods, like the vitamins and the minerals and the fiber and the nutrients, it's pummeled with sugar and fat and salt to create the flavor that it needs to taste good without all those fresh ingredients. So ultra-processed foods are things that you buy at the store, often that have tons of ingredients listed on there. And those, because they have fillers, are often high sugar, high fat, high salt, can contribute to weight gain and also can contribute to worsening high blood pressure. So limit those as much as you can, or try to supplement ultra-processed foods with healthy foods from the fruit and vegetable section of the store. The bottom line, learn to cook at home, learn to change your taste buds so you don't need as much salt and sugar in your foods, learn to read a food label, and you can do wonders for managing your blood pressure at home. Thanks so much for watching today. I'm Dr. Blake Schusterman. I'm a board-certified kidney doctor, and I'm also the cooking doc. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, check out my website, thecookingdoc.co. Check out my book, The Cooking Doc's Kidney Healthy Cooking, a modern 10-step guide to preventing and managing kidney disease, and I'll see you next time.